Almost everyone knows today that global warming and climate change are occurring because the Earth is shifting on its axis. What do you think? What could be the reasons for this? What is your opinion on this?
If you ask me whether climate change is happening because the Earth is shifting on its axis, I know that's not the main driver. The Earth's axial tilt, or obliquity, does change very slowly over tens of thousands of years. Those cycles, combined with orbital variations, are called Milankovitch cycles. They've definitely influenced Earth climate in the geological past, contributing to ice ages and interglacial periods. But what we're facing today, the rapid increase in global average temperatures over just a few decades, is not explained by these slow astronomical cycles. The data is extremely clear. We measured greenhouse gas concentrations, particularly carbon dioxide, CO, methane, Chi, and nitrous oxide, NO, and they've shot up since the Industrial Revolution. They track almost perfectly with the use of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. When you burn these fuels, you release carbon that's been locked underground for millions of years, and you release it in the atmosphere in just a couple of centuries. That's like taking savings that were meant to last eons and blowing it all in a weekend. So the reason climate change is happening now is not Earth axis, not solar activity, and not volcanoes. Those do play roles, but the background noise compared to what humans are doing. The core issue is human-caused greenhouse gas emissions. Now, here's the way I see it. If you're standing on Mars, and I've spent quite a lot of time thinking about Mars, you realize how fragile Earth actually is. Mars has about 1 of Earth's atmospheric pressure. It's cold, dry, and it doesn't have a protective magnetic field like Earth does. You look at Earth from space, and it's just this thin blue line that's the atmosphere. That's what makes all life possible. And we're basically running a dangerous experiment on that thin layer by pumping it full of gases that trap heat. Why people believe Earth's axis might be the cause. They understand where this question comes from. If you look historically, Earth's tilt and wobble have influenced climate, and people like to find natural explanations because they feel safer than admitting it's us. There is almost a psychological defense mechanism there. If it's the Earth's axis, then we're not responsible, so we don't have to change. But the actual science shows otherwise. Orbital shifts take thousands to tens of thousands of years to produce major effects. What we're experiencing now is happening in decades. That's like comparing continental drift to a car crash. One is slow and natural. The other is fast and catastrophic. The real reasons for climate change today: 1, burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas are the big culprits. They provide energy, but release CO. 2 is forestation. We're cutting down rainforests, which are carbon sinks. That's like smashing your air conditioner while the room is heating up. Industrial agriculture, livestock releases methane, which is far more potent than CO in the short term. Industrial processes, cement production, steel and chemical industries release a lot of greenhouse gases too. When you measure Earth's energy balance, you find that more heat is being trapped than leaving. The oceans are absorbing a lot of this excess heat, which is why sea levels are rising, both from thermal expansion and from melting ice sheets. My opinion on what to do. Look, I don't spend my life criticizing the problem just for the sake of criticism. I think about solutions. That's why we started Tesla, Solar City, and even SpaceX. They're all, in one way or another, about making life multiplanetary and sustainable. At Tesla, the goal has always been to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. It's not about building cars. It's about proving that electric vehicles can be better, faster, and more fun than gasoline cars. Once you change the perception, the industry shifts. And now nearly every automaker in the world is going electric. That's impact, but EVs alone won't solve the problem. We need massive adoption of solar, wind, and other renewables, plus large-scale battery storage to deal with intermittency. That's why we've invested so much in the Tesla Powerwall, Powerpack, and Megapack. If you combine renewable generation with storage, you can basically create a sustainable energy grid that doesn't rely on fossil fuels. Then you've got SpaceX. People sometimes say, why are you going to Mars when Earth has problems? My answer is it's not either or. We can do both. SpaceX is about ensuring the long-term survival of consciousness. But it also gives us perspective. When you see Earth as a single, fragile planet floating in the void, it reinforces the need to take care of it, the urgency. Here's the thing, climate change is not some abstract, far-off risk. It's here now. Look at the wildfires in California, the floods in Asia, the record heat waves in Europe, the hurricanes getting stronger in the Atlantic. These aren't coincidences. They're the logical consequences of putting more energy into the climate system. The warmer it gets, the more chaotic and extreme the weather becomes. If we keep going at the current rate, by the end of the century, we're talking about several degrees Celsius of warming. That might not sound like much, but remember during the last ice age, the planet was only about 5 degrees Celsius cooler, and half of North America was covered in ice sheets. So even small shifts in global averages mean massive changes in ecosystems, coastlines, and human habitability. So what's the bottom line? No, climate change is not mainly because the Earth is shifting on its axis. That's a slow, natural cycle. What we're experiencing now is human-driven, primarily from greenhouse gas emissions. The solution is clear. Move rapidly to renewable energy will electrify transportation, improve efficiency in everything, from buildings to factories, develop carbon capture, both natural like reforestation and technological, and ultimately build a mindset where sustainability is the default, not the exception. I'm actually optimistic about this. Humans are very good at solving problems once we decide to. Look at how fast the world pivoted during the pandemic, not perfectly, but we developed vaccines in record time. When there's a clear focus, progress can be exponential. What we need now is the will. Governments, industries, and individuals must align around the goal. And part of that is spreading accurate information. If people keep thinking climate change is about Earth's axis, they won't feel the urgency to act. So education matters to me. The mission is clear. We've got one beautiful planet. Let's not treat it like it's disposable, because it's not.